Hey, what's up everyone? Update 8 seconds ago, and today, I was supposed to be doing Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward for the PlayStation Vita this week, but all the stores around me decided not to carry it, so until I get the game next week, since I ordered it from the store to hold it for me in their next shipment, I decided today to play 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors, since it's the prequel to Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward. So this is going to be like the backstory. So I thought it'd be cool to do before we do the new one. And if anyone likes it, I'll keep doing it even when the other one comes out. But if no one likes it, then I'll just skip and go do the new one. I actually had a viewer say to me that I should play this game because it was pretty sweet. And you learn about a lot of backstory. This game is fiction. All names, characters, and incidents portrayed in this production are fictitious. So fictitious. Well, it's like super foggy. Nine. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. Oh, it's getting louder. 2. 1. Kabam. Explosion! Michael Bay explosion! Oh no! A low noise startled Junpei? I guess that's how you say his name. Junpei? Junpei? I'm gonna go with Junpei. A loud noise startled... I don't know how to say that. I don't know if it's Junpei or Junpei. Junpei. A loud noise startled Junpei awake, and his eyes snapped open. Ugh. As they adjusted to the light, he realized that he didn't recognize his surroundings. Ow! With a crack, Junpei's head connected with something metal. He rolled over and threw out his hand to steady himself, but he found himself groping in empty air. That's not empty air he's groping. That is not empty air. His balance lost, and is still fuzzy? Oh, his still fuzzy mind struggling to understand what was going on. Junpei tumbled down to the cold gray floor. Gargle mouth. God, what happened? Junpei glared around the room, still trying to determine where he'd woken up. The fall had shaken the last cobwebs off sleep from his mind. What? It's not even English. And finally he understood where he'd fallen from. The heavens. It was a bed. A 3-level bunk bed, in fact. Junpei had fallen, apparently from the topmost bunk. His shoulder hurt, his knee hurt, his hip hurt, his entire body hurt. He could feel a bump forming on his forehead, where he'd slammed it against the low ceiling. He wondered if that bump was the reason he felt his vision wavering a bit, but that seemed unlikely. It was all the drugs he took. At first he thought the tremor that ran through his legs was just another effect of this rude awakening, but as he looked around, he realized it was real. The whole room was shaking. Was it an earthquake, he wondered? It didn't seem likely. It was shaky far too quickly for an earthquake. Then again, Junpei had no idea what it was like. What it was, if it was not an earthquake. He tried to tell himself it was important. Junpei rubbed his growing bump on his head. and gingerly climbed to his feet. That means he climbed to his feet as if he had no soul. His balance regained, he finally took his first good look around the room, and he realized it was crap. And muttered to himself, "Where am I?" His pain momentarily forgotten in the face of the confusion of his circumstances, Junpei looked around the room once again. Minutes passed while Junpei struggled to get his bearings. Then, as silently as they had began, the tremors ceased. A cold silence fell over the room. From somewhere far away, Junpei could hear the sound of metal creaking. He felt his stomach tighten. There was 1,000 things the sound could have been, but none of the things he could think of were any good. In an attempt to distract himself, Junpei looked around the room once more. There was a stove that looked more antique than functional. The 3 little bunk beds had mattresses that were so thin that they were little more than blankets. On the other side of the room was an identical bed, and set in the wall between the beds was a slightly dirty iron door. The first thing Junpei noticed about the door was the number roughly emblazoned across it. On the surface of the door, in red paint, someone had written 5. 5? What does 5 mean? I just messed up the voice. Suspicious and still utterly confused, Junpei approached the door slowly. Sitting at last in front of the door, Junpei grabbed hold of the L-shaped handle. A push yielded no movement, and a pull the same result. A few more tries cemented the truth in Junpei's mind. It wouldn't open. It didn't matter how much he pushed and shoved, the handle wouldn't budge. Next to the door was an odd-looking device that reminded Junpei of a card reader. It didn't take a genius to figure out that the odd-looking device was keeping the door shut. Junpei knocked hard on the door. "Hey, hello? Is anyone there? Open the door." There was no response. Junpei threw his left fist into the door, broke his hand, and stopped. What the hell is this? He wasn't really sure what else to say. On his left wrist was a bracelet of a sort he'd never seen before. In the center was a large LCD display. It looked like nothing else so much as a watch, but it clearly wasn't that. After all, it showed only a single number. 5. That's the same as the door. True, the number were the same, but he had no idea what that might mean. All he knew was that it was strange and new, and he wanted it off. Junpei flipped his hand over as if to remove a watch, but the other side of the bracelet was solid. No buckle, no clasp, nothing. He sighed and flipped the thing back over. There was a number of rivets around the rim of the face. Perhaps he pushed them, but nothing happened. On a watch, they might be dials for adjusting date or time, but on his bracelet, they did nothing. Junpei was at a loss. What was he going to do? Growing more desperate, he began to tug at it. However, damn. It's no good. Thing won't come off. A steel ring ran from the face around Junpei's wrist and back into the face. He wouldn't be pulling the bracelet off any time in the near future. What the is the deal with this thing? Frustration and desperation were beginning to mix as reality of the situation began to dawn on Junpei. And I'll see you in part 2. Bye.